Shalom WJC family. Time for our weekly Torah talk. This week I wanted to give you a little something different. The parsha we'll read in Shul is Vayeshev, but since on Thursday night we lit the first candles of Hanukkah, I wanted to deliver a Hanukkah message. Hanukkah seems so important at this particular time, a festival of lights in a time that feels kind of dark. Right, a time in a spike of anti-Semitism, the ongoing war and holding of captives in Israel and Gaza, and of course just a general time of year. It's getting dark early. It can make us sad. And yet, tonight we're going to start saying Chag Urim Sameach, Chag Sameach, right? Happy Festival of Lights, Happy Chag. It seems, I don't know, should we be happy? Are we allowed to be happy right now? And I think the answer that Hanukkah gives us is yes. That there's always grounds for finding joy. There's always grounds for hope. There's always time for believing in miracles, because that's what this Festival of Light is all about. Right? It's about miracles. And so we do say Chag Sameach both as an aspirational wish, like these should be happy times, and also as a declaration, like these are happy times. There are things to be joyful about. And I thought of this as I was reading, as I do every year, the passages from Beit Hillel and Beit Shammai about how to light the Chanukiah, the menorah in the window. A famous passage of Talmud from the tractate about Shabbat, 21b, where we're told Beit Hillel said on the first night you light one candle and add one, and Beit Shammai every day until the last night you have all 8 lit. And Beit Shammai says no, you do it the other way. The first night you light all 8, and then you reduce by 1. They each give their reasons for this. And famously, Hillel says, winning the argument, it seems, quoted by later sages, but this is the last opinion given, that we ma'alin b'kodesh ve'en moridin b'kodesh. We go up in holiness, we don't go down in holiness. That each time we add a candle, we recognize more holiness in the world in the more light. So what does he mean by this? There's a lot of interpretations. I want to share one of my own, which is about miracles and how we view them. There's miracles happening in the world all the time, even in dark, difficult times. Yet it's often hard for us to see them and to recognize them. We expect miracles to happen like the Red Sea. Like we wave our arms, wave our staff, and the sea parts, and look, a miracle. But most miracles don't work that way. And perhaps what Hillel and Shammai are telling us is something about that, about miracles. Right? What Shammai is telling us is on the first time you see a miracle, right? The first time you see your child breathe, the first time you see a flower bloom, the first time you see a rainbow, it's breathtaking. It's all 8 candles. But every time after that, then it's a candle less. Until by the last night that the oil is burning, you hardly recognize it's a miracle at all. Of course, the oil's burning. That oil's been burning for 8 days. Hey, what, you thought it was going to go out? It won't go out till we find another canister of oil. That's how it is. Just like we stop seeing miracles in rainbows, we stop seeing miracles in the blossoming of a flower, we even stop seeing our child's breathing as anything but the normal, run-of-the-mill way the body works. Shammai's not wrong about that, but I think Hillel's telling us that's not how we should see the world. Every time a miracle happens, we should be even more awestruck by that miracle, right? Miracles aren't about the Red Sea. It's that we should see the miracle in our child's first breath, in our child's 1,000th breath, and our child's 100,000th breath. We should see the miracle in every flower, the miracle in every rainbow. And that allowing ourselves to get inured to the miracle in the world, allowing us to ourselves to stop seeing the holiness that's all around us because of the invasion, the siege of the mundane. That's not how to live our lives. Hanukkah is a reminder that every day we should see more light. We should see the miracle as even more miraculous because it's still there. But that's not how people work. We get bored even with miracles. And by the 3rd or 4th time we've seen one, it's hardly a miracle at all. because if it happens all the time, it can't be miraculous. But that's not true. That's not true. Sometimes the fact that it happens all the time makes it even more miraculous. And that's what Hillel's adding a candle each time reminds us of. I was thinking about this as I was last week, as before the pause in the fighting in Israel and Gaza ended, and every day a handful, 10, 12, 15, 20 hostages were being let out from Gaza. Captives were being let out from Gaza. Children and women, foreign workers. And, the first day I felt this. It was like a miracle. And by the fifth day, I don't know. It wasn't any less of a miracle. I tried to hold on to it, but I think I'm not the only one. It just seemed like, oh, this is going to happen. It's going to be hard. We're going to, but of course, it was just as much of a miracle. And I tried to capture this idea. I think many of us did, that like, this is amazing. And then the pause ended, and 137 captives remain in captivity, including still children and women, but men, fathers, grandfathers. It can be hard to see the light through the darkness. That incrementalism invades us from all sides. Hanukkah reminds us that we need to see every increment as a miracle and continue to pray for, maybe even expect sometimes, more miracles. In this Festival of Lights, this Hanukkah, I pray that we can all watch the Hanukkah lights grow day by day, and that so can our faith and our sense of holiness in the world and our belief in miracles, regular miracles, understanding that when one captive was released, it was a miracle, and when 100 were released, it was a miracle, and that every additional one will still be a miracle. And while we don't rely on miracles, we still can pray for them and accept them. And every one of those miracles adds light to the world, as Beit Hillel taught us. And by recognizing that light in the world, we lift up the divine in the world and we see the holiness. And so my Hanukkah prayer, my Hanukkah blessing for all of us is that we only ma'alin b'kodesh, we only go up in Kodesh, we never moridin b'kodesh, we never stop seeing the holiness and the sacred in the world. We never fail to recognize a miracle when we see it, and together make more miracles, make more light, make this world better, save lives, salvage life, rebuild, build for the Jewish people and for all people, that which has always been our mission from the Maccabees until now. Thank you, God, for the miracles we've witnessed. May we continue to see more miracles and more light. Chag Urim Sameach. Happy Hanukkah.